Konami will reportedly be at E3 this year in a big way. According to Andy Robinson via the VGC podcast, the world's premier makers of Pachinko machines may steal the show at the long-absent trade event with a new Castlevania game and a remake of Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. In terms of the other older Metal Gear Solid games potentially being playable on modern platforms, Robinson said that as of 1 year or 2 years ago, being able to do so in some shape or form was in the cards, but it's now less clear what the situation is. Quote, "I would imagine that the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake is going to be somewhat of a test bed for that," Robinson said. Robinson also noted how Konami is, quote, "opening up to collaborating with more developers," though it wasn't clear if he was just talking about the Silent Hill series or Konami's wider portfolio as well. Some kind of Metal Gear Solid 3 remake has been rumored for a long while now, but there's been no official comment from Konami on the matter. Last October, the also long-rumored and repeatedly leaked Silent Hill 2 remake was revealed, which is being developed by Layers of Fear studio Bloober Team. It's been nearly 10 years since the last release of a new Castlevania game that wasn't either a pachinko machine or mobile title. And if we're being honest, it's been much longer than that since the last truly good Castlevania game came out. With the success of the extremely excellent Netflix animated series, you have to imagine Konami would be looking to resurrect the beloved franchise and have it be more successful than the inconsistent Lords of Shadow reboot of the early 2010s. As for Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, while initially you think it would make more sense to remake the first game in the franchise first, Snake Eater is the actual first title chronologically, telling the story of Naked Snake, aka Big Boss, the character that Solid Snake from Metal Gears 1, 2, and 4 is a clone of. If you're new to the Metal Gear franchise and that sounds confusing to you, you have just hit the tippiest tip of the convolution iceberg when it comes to this series, so Konami could potentially be trying to mitigate as much of that as possible by releasing the remakes in chronological order. This way too, they could potentially point to the still very modern Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain, which is the next game in this series chronologically, as the next game to jump to for people that pick up Snake Eater, giving them more time to remake Metal Gear Solid 1. Fun fact about me and Snake Eater: before I moved to the United States as a kid, my family and I visited a couple months earlier to look at schools and houses, which is when I excitedly picked up Metal Gear Solid 3, a game that had not released in England yet at that time, to take back with me. This was also sadly my first lesson in what a region-locked console was.
Those were dark times.
If you're excited at the idea of a new Castlevania game releasing, you're probably curious about the franchise's DLC tie-in with roguelike Dead Cells. Alongside a brand new look at the latest DLC, the game's developer Motion Twin revealed that players will be able to play as Richter Belmont in the Richter mode, which lets them take control of the iconic Castlevania character. The mode is only available in a secret level located somewhere deep inside Dracula's castle, and will feature Richter's classic moveset inspired by Castlevania Symphony of the Night. The gameplay trailer also confirmed there will be a boss fight against Medusa and other enemy types that players will uncover throughout their exploration of Castle Dracula. Dead Cells Return to Castlevania is set to launch on March 6th for PC, PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One, and Series S and X. What are you more excited for, a Metal Gear Solid 3 reboot or a new Castlevania game? Let me know in the comments below, and we'll see you here for more GameSpot news.